If you're talking sports, just a matchup. Mickey here with Zizzy. Yeah, we cutting it up. Just a couple athletic enthusiasts. You know what it is. The Mickey Zizzy podcast. Oh, we are back. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Mickey Zizzy podcast. And no, we aren't saying that we're under the influence, but this is season 4, episode 20. Put those numbers together. You know what it is. We are brought to you by supplementation. First, make sure you reach your pinnacle. Check out pinnaclesub.com for all of your fitness and wellness needs. Do you want a discount on any of that merch, though? I mean, use that Mickey Zizzy discount code. I mean, it's still there. It's still going. I'm just saying, week after week after week. Also, check out G for 3 on YouTube. That is our man, Grant Anderson. You already know. The guy is the pickup court globetrotter, secret sauce shooter, Smucker smack talker, the OBL extraordinaire, 1v1 basket baller. All caps. Talk to him. Yeah, what a week. What a crazy week. I think first and foremost, the biggest thing is just like amazing vibes. Amazing vibes here on the podcast. Mickey Hines. Mickey Hines is a dad, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited to talk about it. The man has been it's a beautiful thing. We're gonna get into it. But Mickey, man, talk to us about just how the hell your life has been this past week and what the hell is going on.
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. It's been a roller coaster. Super excited to welcome in Bentley Hines into this. No, super stoked. It's been something Haley and I have wanted, something that I've always wanted growing up, a nice big family. And, we started our family and it can't go any perfectly how it is right now. And we'll talk more about that when we get to that person of the week. But, the funny thing is, Yank, this might have been one of the worst weekends for football I could have had. The Hawks get beat 31-0, and then the Bears get blown out by the Chiefs 41-10. But I walked away smiling because you had a kid. So if you want to get over your football sadness, your football blues, go have a kid.
I'll be so serious right now. Like I knew when you were recording the Bears recap this week, like it was hurting. Like you were just like, oh dude, bad news, Bears down bad type thing. But like I've never seen someone combat that so like bro, just like straight joy.
Yeah,
Bentley. So absolutely awesome. Yeah, can't wait to let's just get into it then, right? Person of the week. Do we know?
Mark Mason, person of the week is the fam, Haley and Bentley Hines. Bentley's been alive for 4 days, and he's already 5 days. He's already a person of the week. So what a dog, dude!
What a dog!
Great. He's already working. No, and a huge shout out to Haley. Y'all, like going through childbirth is something crazy. And no longer I get why women are stronger than men when it comes to that stuff. Like, oh my dude. It is something, hopefully everyone can experience it. That's the decisions that they choose. But super proud of her and how she handled everything and all the pain she went through to bring in a glorious young little man, Bentley, into the world. And also Bentley, can't wait to show him the rope, show him play football. We've already got a few football things. I tried playing catch. I don't know how to play catch yet, but we're going to get there.
Can he even open his eyes yet? Really, dude? Like barely.
Barely. No. So I did shout out to those two. I'm breaking the rules, but obviously you got to because it's family.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's gonna be Bentley for me, man. I mean, it's the new edition, right? Like, come on. This is basically like Mickey Zizzy Podcast Jr. starting right now. Like I already see future guest episode. I don't care. Like I'm excited down the road. This is the man, the myth, the legend. And then obviously just like so happy for you and Haley. Most of all, can we talk about how well it went for you guys? Like it seemed like it was smooth, man.
Yeah, besides the pain pad, it went pretty smooth. After he's all good. He's taking a nap / feeding right now. So he's not gonna make his appearance yet, but he also has to get that person of the week nominee up in the podcast. But no, it went pretty smooth. We were super blessed to have, him being healthy, Haley being healthy, and that everything kind of went as smooth as it probably could beside the gruesome pain before.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's something that we don't know about, and I'm not even going to try and compare it to anything because, God, it sounds awful. But no, we obviously like Haley Hines, the trooper, snaps for Haley. But to obviously deliver a healthy baby, and I'm gonna bring it up. dope ass name. Can we say this? Like Bentley Ezekiel, dude? Like that's
Dog.
dog. Dog. Absolute dog. No, I'm just excited all around. Everything that we do, we're gonna hype him up. Obviously, Colton already had the kid too, so like close in age, and it'll be exciting to watch the two kids grow up, man. But oh man, just super happy for you, bro.
Thank
Just cannot say how excited I am to get up there and actually meet him. So
Yes, Uncle Yank needs to get up here so he can come visit. No, we're super blessed, super happy. Something we've always wanted, and here we go. Now we're gonna be, I got enough wait time from him to record the podcast. So let's keep this thing rolling. Um,
absolutely.
so real quick, I know we missed 2 weeks. That is all due to my fault. I will put my hand up, but we had a big lifetime event, so y'all can wait. Dang gummit,
That's
y'all can
excuse.
wait. But college football, I mean, you had the crazy games like Colorado going down bad to Oregon, and everyone's kind of come on at Coach Prime and whatnot. Like, I love what he said though. Like his response, I just want to talk about like the response. Like, obviously, it was a bad game played by them. They did not look like the Colorado Buffalo that we've seen in previous weeks.
No.
Coach Prime's like, hey, get us now because you ain't gonna get us again. I'm like, okay. Like he admits it. Like that was bad. Like that's a good thing to come from a coach. We're like, hey, ain't it gonna happen again? We're not gonna let that 40-point, be scored up on us when us only scoring 6. So I think it was like 41-6 or something like that.
It was ugly. I will say I was actually out and about and then like missed the first quarter and a half, and then came back and I was like, is it 35 to nothing? What the I was blown away that it was gonna get that out of hand. But I mean, it's a game of trenches, it's a different type of level, different type of program. But I mean, even what he's done in just a short amount of time is already a success. So
Yeah, and when your wife's going into labor and you just have that game on, it's kind of nice. That game was on in the background and she's in pain, but it is what it is. Also for my Iowa Hawkeyes, kind of sucks. They got blown out on the big stage, the night game at Penn State in Happy Valley. You never went in, they had the whiteout, like everything was going Penn State's way.
it's a
And the
scary
Hawks
place to play,
offense,
dude.
first time they've been goose eggs since like 2005. It's really, really scary. Like just their offense. Like I know 2 weeks ago I was actually at that game when they played against something state. Oh, I forget. It's a MAC school.
Okay.
Why can I think? Western Michigan. Western
All right.
Michigan. Like the offense looked good, but granted, you're playing against Western Michigan. And they struggled in the first half. So the Hawks got a whole lot of work to do. So I'm hoping my Iowa Hawkeyes, start learning some O and start scoring some points.
I mean, they've won some tough games. I mean, they played against quality opponents and won games up until this point. I do believe Penn State is that good. Like Penn State's very, very good. But to get shut out, I mean, is it just a this year the thing though? I mean, like it feels like the last 3, 4 seasons it's been an offensive issue and
It has. When your defense is holding people to under 10 points and you're not like balling out, like that's a problem. Like our defense is just so good. And then obviously let up 31 points, but like that can only happen for so long. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I wanted to mention those two teams. Pretty common themes there. But any college, which love your Florida State Seminoles, dude. I am on board.
Yeah. So I mean, you're transitioning perfectly for me. We're talking about filling things in and talking about teams we love. I mean, let's talk about FSU. Two scary games, if you're going to ask me, last 2 weeks. I mean, the scare against Boston College. I mean, 31-29. Jordan Travis getting injured, basically limping through games, coming back out and late in the second half, ended up leading us back to end up taking the lead and end up holding it. And I mean, well, actually, no, we were up early and then they started coming back, but still to maintain it, end up closing out the game. Still scary game, right? Boston College, unranked, really coming into this chip on their shoulder, nothing to lose. Those are always kind of those scary trap games. They typically play us well to begin with. But just to see them come out on top and then follow it up, right? You have like that big emotional game, and then you follow it up against Clemson, who's a lot of people would say is going to be your toughest test of the season, or if not, at least top 1 or 2 teams
Oh,
you're going
yeah.
to yeah, like top 2. And you win that one in a close one. Like I know that Clemson hasn't been the same Clemson, but I mean they still got some players now. They still
And
got some.
they're trying to earn that respect back. Like Coach Dabo
Yeah.
Sweeney is like, hey, I need to get my name. Like he might be on the hot seat, and I know he's not gonna be because he's a phenomenal coach, and Clemson is a great program. But they're a team with a huge chip on their shoulder, trying to say, hey, we want to be the Clemson of the old. Like, come on now. And so like FSU had to fight through that, and they did win those close games. And we know the Seminoles can win close games. So let them go blow out teams again, win against the close games against those higher ranked opponents. I think they'll be all right. I think that was a great way to face adversity and a huge confidence booster if you're in that locker room.
Well, that's what I see it as. Like to me, it's like, yes, they're close games, but that breeds excellence. Like close games breed excellence, if you ask me. It's experience. It's almost like a modifier if you're playing a video game, right? Like you come down to the wire now, you've been in that moment before. Not every game you're going to play into blowout. I don't care how good your team is. You're going to get tested at some point in the season. If you've already been battle tested going into that, you got to love your chances moving forward. We already picked them as a playoff team. I'm sticking to the guns, baby. Go for it.
Europe, any other college teams you want to reference?
Oh, I mean, Colorado. Do we still like? What's our feel on them?
I think they make a bowl game. I really think they make a bowl game, and they're going to go win that bowl game. They're not going to
think that's disrespectful. Of course, they'll make a bowl game.
Okay, but what else more? Yank. There's not much.
Do they stay ranked?
Yes, I think they'll be ranked in the 20th. I think they'll lose to USC this weekend. I think Caleb Williams puts on a clinic on them. I think it'll be closer than what people think, but I still think it's a 21-point game. USC wins. I think that's going to hurt them.
I mean, it's a trenches thing. That's what you mean. Like the line of scrimmage is so important. If you can control the line of scrimmage, you can shut down run game, you can control pass rush, all that. Like it makes everything so much more difficult for the opposing team. And we got to see how inept they kind of are in comparison to some of these bigger, more, like all these programs that have had longevity. It was kind of just a one-sided affair, especially when you're missing your best player. Maybe not your best look, Travis Hunter, playing on Twitch in the middle of the game, but outside of that, I'd be pretty upset watching it too.
Yeah, so I think they do. I think they do definitely stay ranked. I think they get knocked out this week, and then next week, after a few more weeks of them winning, they'll make their way back in. But I definitely think they leave ranked, lose 2 to 3 games, or 3 to 4 games, and make a bowl game. We'll say 3 games.
Okay.
And that's the upside. Like that's pretty good. And I'm right.
Not bad, not bad. In comparison to where they were a year before, right? Like 1-11, you're already sitting here. You're at 3-1. It's a pretty big turnaround completely, no matter what we say. And in all honesty, I'm hoping they lose so some ticket prices go down in the future. Maybe trying to sniz zags on. It's a little extreme out there. Holy hell!
The prime effect.
The prime effect. Prime time. And on top of that, the next team I wanted to talk about, and the last team that I really want to cover it all in college, was Alabama, right? And it's not just the fact that I picked them to go to the playoff, that I picked them to be the national champion this year. It's the absolute I just feel like these wins are piecemeal. Like, yeah, they had a ranked rebound this past week against Ole Miss. That is a big game. Ole Miss has had opportunities to win that game, but at the end of the day, Alabama controlled it for the most part from start to finish. But week 3, you're coming off a big time loss. I know you're replacing quarterbacks and you're changing quarterbacks. You're trying to figure things out, what is best for the team moving forward. But to be on the struggle bus against USF, a team that just on a recruitment level, from a talent standpoint, this team allows over 5.5 yards of rush. You cannot tell me that Alabama is not going to just absolutely dominate that game. And for them to be tied 3-3 entering, well, I think it was late in the third when they broke away, but still, to be tied at that point is absolutely treacherous to me. It spells bad things moving forward, and maybe we really are watching at least the championship dynasty of Alabama kind of wither a little bit.
I've been saying it, but
You've been saying it, but I was like, okay, it's been 2-3 years. This is bounce back time. And maybe not.
Right thing. It's Nick Saban. It's Alabama. It's Crimson Tide. Everyone should, roll Tide. And the thing was, I remember I was in the stands at the Hawks game, and I hear 3-3 against USF. I was like, oh, UCF, okay, they got a swag right. No, USF. I was like, oh. And they've been having the quarterback controversy. Milroe got benched, and then Saban saying how great of a leader, which of course he was. He was first one high-fiving people. That's awesome. And I think Milroe does deserve the start, but he needs to fix it up, right? They need to go on all levels. They're starting a left tackle freshman right now, true freshman from actually Iowa. He's from Iowa here. Caden Proctor is that left tackle like crazy.
Okay, shout it out.
Yeah, shout out. So I know I think he's from Southeast Polk, but he's supposed to be a Hawkeye, decommitted and went to Bama. But otherwise, back to the whole Bama as a whole, it's scary. And they're gonna have a whole lot more tougher competition. Ole Miss was a definitely kind of bounce back win, but I didn't think it was too eye opening. I wasn't like, all right, Bama's back. Like, oh, Bama still got some holes. They still got some struggles, and we're gonna see.
When was the last time you saw them ranked in the teens, man?
Not for a while. Maybe NCAA 14.
Oh,
When I'm playing. I don't know.
We're so close, man. Less than a year. All right.
No, all good things.
No, all good. But that was really about it. As far as the storylines and everything, as far as just kind of trying to fast track through the last couple of weeks of college. That's where we stand moving forward. Gotta love some of the names and players I think that are popping up though in this Heisman race. Some of these new Penix now. You gotta look.
Washington's raw, dude. Like I've been seeing our friend
real
is a defensive control coach up there. So I've been seeing all the Washington reposts, and Penix is real. Washington's real. Like let them sneak in. Like they might sneak in.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of players when it comes to college football this season, it feels like. I mean, even the teams that are at the very top, nobody seems invincible, if you ask me.
Not at all. Not even Georgia.
Yeah, no, not at all. Honestly, out of all the teams I feel the best about, like up top, is it odd that I say like a Penn State?
Well, they had commanding wins. I mean, they aren't.
Yeah,
they won't have as big as target in the back. They haven't been ranked up that high. I can ship it, but they got some tough competition with Ohio State and Michigan coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with that, obviously, moving forward.
Yeah, but let's transition, Yank, to the NFL, one of our major sports. I mean, pretty much the biggest sport we talk about here on the Mickey Zizzy podcast. But first, before we do that, we're going to update the fans on the Beat the Podcast NFL Pick'ems. After 3 weeks, yes, I had to double check myself there. Haley Hines is now a co-leader with Colton Clark. Newcomer Colton Clark is joining the leader. We are all playing follow the leader. And then tied for third is Tyler Frazier and Bryce Conley, which Tyler Frazier is also a newcomer to the Pick'ems. And Bryce Conley's typically been a guy at the back of the pack, and he said, hey, watch out. I'm here to play.
I got this. Yeah.
Yeah, ASAP Cons is there at 3. And then
is back.
Yank, we're tied though. We're at 30 and 18. We're tied for 9th. We're making some good moves. I feel like some of my picks I've been kind of bodied a little bit. So
I was upset. I felt like last week was the upset week, but I picked all the wrong
upsets. Exactly. So I know you had a rough week last week, but like, hey, it's early. Relax.
It's early. Pump the brakes.
And then real quick, the fantasy for Mickey's Zizzy podcast. Riley Bell is leading the Mickey region, and then with Haley's in second there, she's been balling, and my team is 1 and 2. I am in last in my division. We got work to do. Yank, we're talking in the locker room. We had a hard week of practice. The boys are ready to go. But on the flip side, Steven Ruiz is 3-0, and we know how good Steven Ruiz is at fantasy. And then Aaron Halpern is in second, and you're 1 and 2 as well, and you're tied for 4th. So both of the boys here for the Packers are 1 and 2. So we are not looking too good in our games right now. But like we said earlier, relax.
I mean, you gotta you have to recognize it's early, but it's also like fantasy. You gotta get your wins early. You gotta
make that playoff. Like
you gotta be in contention. You gotta be on that line. The problem here with the podcast fantasy football league is your boy's putting up points. He's just not winning games. I mean, I want to say top 2 or 3 point total in the league as of right now. But, if it doesn't transition to wins, doesn't necessarily matter. So, got a kind of same thing when we're talking.
3rd points overall, all total.
I mean, scoring points just gotta translate to wins. So we'll bounce back. But I like week 4. Week 4 seems like a big momentum changer. Like if you're not doing well and you get a win here, you're feeling a lot more confident.
Yep.
Take that loss though, and you're a couple games behind the 8 ball, start getting nervous. Now the nerves start setting in. You start trading, start getting panicky.
You really do. So that's your quick update about two of our most fun games, activities we do here on the Mickey Zizzy podcast.
What is Haley doing? Is she just like stealing picks? What is happening?
Not really.
She's beating the heck out of us.
Well, because when I'm looking at the pick, I was like, oh, that's not a good pick. And it ends up winning for her. She's over here like, hey, what's up? Like the Michael Jordan meme. Anyway. Let's transition to that NFL. We're going to recap the past two seasons like we did with college and Yank. Both of our teams are on opposite spectrums. Who wants to go first? Are we going to let the bad talk or let the good talk?
Let's talk about the bad news Bears for real. Let's talk about them. I don't get it. Can I be honest?
You lead. You lead.
I don't get it. There is a difference in play calling. There's a difference in confidence. Like there's a major difference in confidence of Justin Fields right now. But I mean, like, yeah, you add in DJ Moore, and honestly, DJ Moore to me has been an amazing addition. Like the leadership on and off the field, like the dude, like he checking out for his quarterback, making sure everybody's okay. The effort that he's getting, he's showing up to play every Sunday. But I mean, just everybody, it seems like they're lollygagging. It seems like they're behind the eight ball. Everything is just disorganized from a organizational standpoint. I mean, we're talking about all the background noise with the coaches and all that. Enough is enough. We got to get back to constitutional football, man. Like, I just don't understand what it is about the Chicago Bears and quarterback situation specifically. I'm going to say right now, because that seems to be what it's all revolving around. But the team on paper, I mean, we said it was better than last year. I believe that. I'm not going to say it was a playoff team. I wasn't ready to say all that yet, but I was said they're a year, 2 years away. Like they're not far off. They should be competitive. These games haven't been close, dude. They haven't been close. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yank. Have you ever seen the meme of the dumpster fire going down the street? In that, and I hate saying that. I hate going down to the typical Bear fan level. But you know what, Yank? Let's talk about the bad and I'll talk about the good. Yeah, we get blown up by Kansas City. Justin Fields, you have 99 yards. You don't even get 100, right? He has to do better, and right now he is looking depressed. You look at those press conferences, he looks depressed. He's blaming it on coaches, right? He does not look like the leader, like the captain on his chest really shows. All right, so he's obviously got to play better. I'll talk about that in just a second, right? Our run game. Nowhere to be found. Khalil Herbert's not really doing much, right? Roshan Johnson's actually kind of a baller from Texas, a rookie. Let him play more. And our
I was going to say, he actually hasn't looked bad at all.
Our defense is getting obliterated, but you know why? Because our defensive coordinator's house is getting rampaged by the FBI, and he's getting fired. Oh, and why they're doing that, the FBI can't check in on Soldier Field because Soldier Field had $100,000 worth of equipment being stolen from the stadium. Are you kidding me?
Like, what is that? Like, what is that?
After awful. It is insanely poor, and I hate doing it. Like, it's such a bad franchise from like the outside looking in. Like, unless you're a true Bears fan and you have some slimmer of hope, which I'll talk about, right? It looks so bad. It looks awful.
Do we know what the whole equipment thing was, by the way? Because like I still
it's $100,000 worth.
Stolen. Gone. All right.
Gone.
All right.
And you go play the Bucks, and you are in it to win it. You throw a pick six right in front of them, like awful play call. You ran a screen 2 to 3 times in a row. You don't do that, Gretzky. Come on. And the defense just letting up points on points on points. The defense might be one of the worst defensive league, and I was supposed to be hyping them up all year, right? I had the worst part about this, Yank, is I had the most amount of hope going into the season, right? You heard me on the podcast.
Absolutely.
I have to look myself in the mirror and like, dang, you were way wrong, right? And people are talking about it, right? So Carolina is starting to do bad, right? We traded those picks and whatnot. Okay. Chicago's doing bad. Like we might have 2, top 10 picks if this keeps on going in this trajectory. Now, Mr. Yankovic, it is sad that I still have hope. I'm giving Justin Fields 3 games. We're going to win the toilet bowl this Sunday.
From now or including
right now, the next 3 games, Justin Fields, he's on a very, very short leash. All right. Of my faith.
Wow.
That's coming along.
Wow, this is coming from you. This is like
from a Mitch Trubisky, my dude, right? He has 3 games. Yank, 5-27 might be the worst start ever to an NFL career. Eberflus needs to be on the hot seat. He's lost 16, 13 games in a row. 13, 16 games in a row. Like, that's bad, Yank. So I'm on a short leash. I still have a sliver of hope. You win 2 of the next 3 games, right? And this weekend, you got the toilet bowl. I've been talking to our friend Aaron Halpern, right? We're like, all right, whoever loses, you go get Caleb Wilson or Caleb Williams and let y'all go cook, right? But let's think about it, Yank. They have the Broncos, should win. They have the Commanders, should win. Vikings, that's the toss-up. That's the one loss I'm okay with. You go win the next 2 games, I'm all the way back. We're good. Let's get it. Bear down. We can have a good season. Let's go win 5-7 games, right? I can be happy. Yank, I haven't had a Bears recap win in so long. And it sucks.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Honestly, I hope that you sprint the neighborhood or something crazy on the next one. Cause like it sucks. I want some happiness on that one every now and then, It's not like you're playing
bad.
us.
Things need to change within the house right now. I know I went way above my time of how I need to talk. Sorry, producer Jones or whoever. That's my rant. And of course people needed to hear it because it's been 2 weeks of anger.
I mean, I don't think there's really much else to say. The fact that you're sitting here getting ready to call for Justin Fields' head, that's what scares me. But to be
5-3
on offense, to have the turnovers, to be under 100 passing yards in the NFL, I don't understand that. That's the second time this year I've seen it, and one of them was from the highest paid player in the league. I don't know what's happening right now, but just it's been a wow for me. A wow.
Yes, indeed. But let's talk about your Fins. You know what, Yank?
We're going to the Super Bowl, Mickey Hines. We're going to the Super Bowl. Holy hell, dude. I have never in my life been this excited for the Dolphins. I mean, 70. That was a real thing. I actually was mesmerized. As we went into halftime, you get into the end of the game, it was like 28-13 or something. Yeah, and then all right, 35. Actually, let's make it 42. Maybe we'll go 49. I'm so lost and amazed. When your backup running back is scoring 4 touchdowns,
it's insane.
Starting running back scoring 4 touchdowns. Tua is dropping absolute dimes. Tyreek Hill can't be stopped. And we scored 70 without Jalen Waddle. Like, I don't know. Dude. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
And I typically don't try to boost up the Dolphins too much because obviously you bring all the boosting, but dang, they need it. They are exciting to watch. They are the Legion of Zoom. I'm all in. Like, I love watching them. I love hyping them up. They're the real deal. If Tua can stay healthy, obviously that's got to be the question you have to ask yourself. But like 70 lobster? Like, that's insane. It's unheard of. They're 3 points away from having the most points scored in an NFL game.
And we could have got it. Mike McDaniel. Come on, man. Like, it's the only time in my life I've actually been a little bit upset. You're such a nice guy. Why you got to be such a nice
coach? Guy? Like, even Haley says, he's such a good coach. I like him. I'm like, yeah, he is. He's awesome. And the Dolphins are fun to watch. This weekend they have Buffalo. It's gonna be a real test. Like, are they the real deal? Obviously, last week Denver, like they are the doormat of the NFL right now. Which the toilet bowl is why we said it. And then it'll be a real test. And I went with Miami. I want to let you know right now. Pick'ems. I went with Miami, and I wanted to go Buffalo, but here we go.
I mean, I got somebody's gonna have to kick me off the pedestal because right now I'm on like a trend to pick them for every damn game that they play. I am so
Miami.
Miami versus don't care Miami. And this is going to be a big time test. I'm actually looking forward to it. Last year when we beat Buffalo in week 3 last year when we beat them. I sprinted the entire block, and I was that excited. Yep. This year, there will be no sprinting of the block. We expect this. We expect greatness. We want it. But no, it would be actually huge to take that 2-game divisional lead, kind of set the precedent and the tone moving forward for the rest of the season. And if we can get through this game, I mean, the next few, I believe, also look pretty dang winnable. So I gotta love it, man. I mean, Tua is the best odds for MVP right now. I mean, and it's pretty crazy to just think all around. Like I was looking at the stats and everything earlier. I mean, 121 passer rating is one thing, but his stats last year to this year are the exact same. Last year, like completions to attempts, 72 of 101, 8 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, but the feel from last year to this year completely different. So I'm beyond ecstatic for it. We have the fastest offense, maybe the best offense since show on turf, it looks like, at least through the first few weeks. Like I said, we could have set the record. McDaniel's just a nice guy. Wants to take it.
No, Yank, it's awesome to watch, and you should glow. You have the right to glow. You should be on cloud nine. You should be on your pedestal until you get knocked down. Like this is the why we do the podcast. Let you cheer. It must be. No, let's move on. We're gonna talk about a few other teams here real quick, just to shine some light on this episode. But my next team I want to talk about is the Baltimore Ravens. They're sneaky. Okay, they're 2-1. Obviously, they lost to the Colts this weekend in overtime. Lamar only had like 100 yards. We had 100 on the ground and a touchdown. All right, New Jersey team, right? I've cursed the Bengals with Jamar Chase jersey bet. I'm doubling down. The Ravens. I'll get a Zay Flowers and a Tyler Linderbaum. I'm double. Now, this is my stretch. Like, this is like super far. I love watching this team. Just the dynamic of the offense. And I know Lamar hasn't passed that much. He has not passed that much. But that defense is real, right? When your quarterback hardly has a touchdown passing and you go beat a team 25-9, like the defense is real. So you're going to rely on Roquan Smith leading that ex-Bear right there, leading that squad. Their team to watch out for. I want to say that right now in week 3. I like the Ravens.
No, I mean, and I love the Ravens in general. I had picked them to win the division in general this year. It was pretty heartbreaking seeing. I mean, but they had 6 different opportunities to win that game against the Colts this past weekend and just found a way to lose. I mean, it was a tough week for them, but if anything, they would think that builds character, builds some adversity. They got another tough game this week. I mean, I'm excited to see them kind of bounce back. I'm with you. I think they're a scary team to look out, and they will be very good by the end of the season.
I know, and I'm saying, hey, I did not like them in the beginning of the year. I know we had our preview of them, and I kind of got sold up on them, and just from their play, I'm buying the stock. But, I got 2 AFC North teams, like, for my Super Bowl jersey bet. So, like, that's probably bad podcasting. That's probably bad expertise analyzation. But you know what?
I want to say it's Baltimore, Cleveland. So big divisional game.
Exactly. So what's the next thing you want to talk about?
Yeah. For me, it has to be like, I mean, are the Jets and I mean 2 teams, right, that have kind of dominated headlines in a way. Like, are the Jets actually just done
Yes.
because they're that bad on offense? Are they? Like,
isn't that crazy? One guy taken away, and they're
don't understand. Like, to me, it's like everybody's in the NFL. Like, these guys should all be that, like, somewhat like we're watching Josh Dobbs take off, bro. Like, that guy is balling. I can't say anything else, right?
Have his jersey. He went to go buy his jersey online and couldn't buy it.
He's not even in there. Like, dude, can't buy his own jersey at the team shop. What are you talking about? But then, and then on the flip side, I mean, we talk about Josh Dobbs, but like the Cowboy, it's just the craziness of the NFL, dude. Like, I love how quickly storylines can change and how how little stuff.
Super Bowl. Oh wait, Josh Dobbs just beat him.
Yeah, bro. Like, bro, it's amazing to me. It's actually amazing to me. And I'm not gonna take a whole lot of stock in 1 week for the Cowboys thing, but like the Jets, I mean, what a disaster. And just like the craziness of the NFL in 1 week. What a tough week for the Pick'ems. Jesus.
Yeah, and the Jets' morale is all the way down when you lose that guy. I mean, your biggest highlight was him walking out with the American flag. Like, it's super sad, and you can just tell. Like, Zach Wilson is trying. He is trying. I know, like, even RG3 is like, I'll come out and play. Give me a call. Give people a call. He is not the guy. Like, honestly, that's what they could and should do. Like, I've seen the Tom Brady memes, but, I mean, Zach's not the guy either. And I've said that from day one since he's gotten there. But, he's trying, and I think he can win a few games. I don't think they're a playoff team, though.
Yeah, I mean, I get you. And I think that unless there's some type of dramatic change or where they can be multi-dimensional, because they are now a one-dimensional football team on that side of the ball, they're going to be in major trouble moving forward. But for me, really, the two teams I wanted to point out, two teams that I think are now potential sleepers on the season. In the end, I'm gonna give one for each, the NFC and the AFC. The NFC, I'm gonna go with the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know why.
Because they got fantasy lords right now.
They got, well, maybe, but it's not even just that. Like you watched the game, and I know like Cincinnati was 0-2 coming in that game. I hadn't played well, but Cincinnati is a great team. We all believe them to be competitive. We all believe them to have superstars. They got the highest paid quarterback in the league. They got the best receiving core probably in the NFL. I mean, they're a great team through and through. Super Bowl, AFC Championship last 2 years. They go in, they play that team super, super tough after winning. What, they were 1-1 or 1 or 2, or were they 2-0?
I think they're 2-0, but
I think they were 2-0 coming in that game, if we're being honest. But either way, regardless of their record, they've played every game extremely competitively, and they've done that without their best player. I do believe when Cooper Kupp comes back, that just takes the offense to another level because they've now found some of these other weapons in the first few weeks of the season. Their defense, they bring back Bobby Wagner, right? Actually, did he go back to Seattle? He might have went back to Seattle actually this past season, but still, he was in the middle of the defense. But regardless, they've been playing lockdown. They've been playing a lot. I mean, and they had what 4 or 5 field goals just to have to win that last game. I mean, it's a bend don't break defense, baby. We love it.
and they lost by 7 to the 49ers, who are a Super Bowl favorite with the Philadelphia Eagles.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah, they are
Thumbs up, baby.
They sure are. Any other teams as a sleeper? I'll agree with that. Any other teams?
In the AFC, I would probably go with the Colts.
Without Anthony Richardson and Gardner Minshew, no. They're maybe make the playoffs. I'll give you maybe make the playoffs.
Richardson will be back.
All right. Let's end it on that one. Close us out. What in the
If you're talking sports, it's the matchup. Mickey here with Zizzy, yeah, we cutting it up. Just a couple athletic enthusiasts. You know what it is, the Mickey Zizzy podcast.
Peace, everybody.